ありがとう。
Thank you.
こんにちは。
こんにちは。こんにちは。
最初からガンダム00はすごく感激しました。特にシーズン2の17話。はいはいはい。そうです。スポイラー以外のAnyways, the question is, or I was just complimenting Double O, sorry guys. My question about it is, you guys seem to have a very powerful message in Double O that humanity and government as it is right now is forever locked in violent struggle. And the only incident I saw where it really broke through, aside from some hints we got in the end, and hopefully the motion picture that's coming, is that episode 17 of the second season, where they all had this giant crisis. Will we be seeing more of mankind coming together in the movie?
Well, certainly it's an issue that we're wrestling with. We're not planning to really provide a resolution or to focus too in a centered way on that theme in the work that's coming out. We want to kind of expand it and focus on some other issues as well. But I mean, basically, all said and done, we'll just have to ask you to wait for it to come out and enjoy the waiting time.
来るべき会話まで。
そうですね。ありがとうございました。Thank you.
Konnichiwa. I have a question that's not really about the series, but it's sort of related to the series. I remember hearing about that while I was running, the series was getting a lot of unnecessary criticism, mostly from purists of the original Gundam series, complaining whether it was not Gundam enough or too similar to the original Gundam series. And I was wondering how you handle that criticism without it turning into a repeat of what happened with the fourth chapter of Gurren Lagann and Gainax.
On what? What was the last thing you said?
You know how, the fourth chapter, Gurren Lagann, the guy who was running it for Gainax criticized and said something like how the forums was like, reading them is like breathing into an anus or something like that, and he got a lot of bad. Yeah, I know, but I was wondering if it could happen like that. How does he deal with the criticism without it turning into something like that?
So you're saying that they have received criticism,
yeah,
and it hasn't gone as bad as it has with Gurren Lagann, but they've received some. How do you handle it?
Yeah.
Basically? Okay.
ガンダムに限らず、そうですね。ガンダムに関して。で、そうですね。今もう本当に見てくださってるお客さんの声がそうですね。割とネットとかを通じて、素早く見れるので、表現方法とかその細かい部分では意見を参考に。僕の方で一回反芻して、そのフィルムに生かすことはありますけど、ストーリーラインとかはそれによって変わることはほとんどまずないですね。なぜならずっと前に決めてしまっているからっていう、ネットで見たところで変えられないんですけどもう 3ヶ月以上前に作ってるものなので、はい。
Basically, I mean, he hasn't received too many criticisms in a big way about the big issues of the series. I mean, some people kind of quibble over some of the details. They say, oh, it should have been like this or it should have been like that. But I mean, as a whole, people's general impression has been favorable, so he hasn't been, having to deal with that too much. And it's like, oh, right. And so then he was saying, basically, after it's already out there and everyone's already watching it, it's all over the internet and stuff like that. I mean, it's like, you can take the criticism, but there's not a whole lot you can do at that point, so you just kind of move on. Keep going about your business.
Okay.
Hello. I had a question about the Gundam theatrical version that's coming out in 2010. I was wondering if it's going to be a prequel or a sequel to the whole Gundam 00 franchise. Will it concentrate on the origins of the GN drives or the solar furnaces?
Hi.
More or less, it's going to be taking place after the Gundam 00 series. It's what happens after the end of it. Okay. But they will address some of those issues, even though it takes place after. They'll talk a little bit more about some of the earlier stuff.
あとサイドストーリー的なものはこれからも展開しようと考えているので、彼が興味があるそのテクノロジーの源流みたいなものに関してもそういう要望を海外で言われたよっていうのをどういう設定を一緒に考えてくれているスタッフに話をしてなんかちょっとそういうのやれたらいいよねっていう相談もします。はい
But he said it's interesting that you bring it up because they're still in some ways thinking over some of the side stories that are going to be in the film. So he's going to go back to Japan and he's going to tell them that here there are fans who are interested in seeing some of those, the origins of some of the technology, and he's going to suggest that maybe they explore some of those directions a little more thoroughly. So it may actually have an influence on what happens.
Oh, wow. Two more questions as it is. Well, first, I only have one more question, and I'll be very quick. First, I wanted to say, where did you come up with the concept of the solar furnaces, if that's also possible?
Solar furnace.
The GN drives, the engines that power the Gundams.
Gundam. その辺のドラマにコンプリートのためにいろいろみんなで相談したのが Well, basically, with all of the technological issues in the series and all throughout the Gundam stuff, our main attitude was to overemphasize the technology to get stuff that was just crazy, advanced, way beyond the pale of what's happening now. And so within the series, it was Yoria, who was alive like 200 years before and was this crazy
mad scientist.
Yeah, mad scientist. Basically, we wanted to really emphasize his effect and demonstrate it through all that stuff. So when we thought about, things like all of those various parts, that was what we were trying to do, is just go really over the top with it.
I see. Okay, I'll just leave right now, but I wanted to say that I wanted to thank you personally for saving Gundam for me, because after the whole Seed, Gundam Seed and Gundam Seed Destiny, I had lost all faith in Gundam. Thanks to you, you've given me a new series, Gundam 00, and I look forward to the new series and everything that comes from it. Thank you, personally. Thank you very much.